Ladies and gentlemen, I am the next gem of great British wrestling ring announcing, Adam Blackburn, and you are listening to the new Great British podcast, Submit Wrestling Cards, with your hosts, Jack and Kev.
Now we're going to move on to Series 2 from this set, as we mentioned at the start. So pre-SummerSlam set of cards and then post-SummerSlam set of cards. So I don't think that had been done before with events. Bit of an odd one, but it just meant we've now got two sets to kind of go through, really. So let's bring them up on the screen. So now these are typically just called the yellow series or the gold series because, funnily enough, they have a yellow and gold border. Are they? I wouldn't say they're any rarer than the black series, to be honest. I'd say they're about the same.
Possibly the same, yeah, definitely. To me, though, they're a better set, personally. Maybe that generates the interest. I don't know, but I just think there's a lot more to this set than the part one. So kicking it off, top left, you got Tatanka, and he's there with two fans. And if you read on the back of the card, it says that them two lucky fans, they won VIP tickets and they got to go to the show. So that's quite a nice one.
Yeah, and I wonder if surely those two fans would know. I mean, they'd have to have obviously permission to have their faces printed on the cards, but surely those two fans. And I wonder if they're still sort of in the community. I wonder if they're still sort of kicking around. So it'd be interesting to. I've never heard anyone admit that they were one of those fans there. In that picture, don't know. But yeah, that's the first card from the set. Second card, again, another kind of establishing shot, a photo of the event at Wembley.
You could see the ring plan on that. If you just zoom in a touch on card number 2, it's like shaped as the Union flag, Union Jack. To some degree.
Right. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, where the people are sat on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So,
yeah.
There is aerial shots and it stands out like so.
So we've got a couple of action shots now, and again we'll kind of whiz through these. So we've got Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior. Some great shots there. One of Macho Man doing the flying elbow. What's that? I can't tell what's going on. Oh, that's Ric Flair.
Flair. Yeah, Mr. Perfect when they interfered in the match, isn't it, with a chair?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was just have to turn sideways on that one. And then we've got the famous Bret and Bulldog shaking hands. Again, we've covered this on a previous Bulldog video. If you've not seen that, we went through all of British Bulldog's his best cards and his history. And then you've got one of Rowdy Roddy Piper coming down the aisle, blowing on
the
his
bagpipes,
blowing on his sack.
Terrible.
I know. So we've got a few more shots then. So on the next page, we've got natural disasters. We've got a picture from Kamala and Taker, Rick Martel with his match with Shawn, Crush and Repo, Virgil Nails, and a great one of the Undertaker. Something that doesn't really get spoke about too much with some of the design of these cards is, and you actually overlook it, that's how well it was done. So if you look at the Crush versus Repo card, the one where Crush is holding Repo above his head, notice how the SummerSlam logo is actually positioned behind Repo Man on how the card is printed. Yeah. So it actually looks like the action's coming out of the card. And if you then look at the other cards, you see they do this a few times where you look at Martel and Shawn. Shawn's doing the arm wrench on Martel, and you can see the hand is going over the logo. So again, it looks like it's popping out of the card. Great idea, executed really well. And again, very similar if you look at the Undertaker card, his hat is going over the border of the card. So again, it looks like it's coming out. When it's done well,
it's like really 3D, isn't it? It's like as if it's a 3D card popping out at you.
Yeah.
And with that isn't all the matches. I'm missing the LOD match for some reason. when you think back to the previous set, you had 3 cards on the bounce of Legion of Doom, and was it at this point now they're saying, look, Legion of Doom's left the company, we can't include them? Is that quite a tactical move? Were they told not to include them?
Yeah, possibly.
We're on to card 27, still no Legion of Doom.
Yeah, considering that by this point they already had 4 cards in Series 1, we're now 27 cards into the Gold Series and not seen them at all. No. So we've got some great photos here and some great images. Shawn Michaels, fantastic image. That one's been used no end of times. I think it's across loads of print media, that picture of Shawn. Great picture. Now, what are your thoughts on that British Bulldog picture?
Brilliant. Back
you
to
like
the
it?
timers.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this card. The beads, I think, does it for me.
So
think of Bulldog with them beads, man.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I mean, absolutely great part of his character. I think it was a bad move for them to put a picture of him with a scowl on his face, considering how over he was as a babyface.
Yeah. Another one, why hasn't he got the Intercontinental belt?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good point. Yeah. Picture of Mr. Perfect ringside, looking confused and lost. Don't know why. I mean, if anyone knows their way around a wrestling ring, it is Kurt. So you don't know quite why he's looking so bemused. And maybe they didn't have many pictures to choose from with some of these guys, so they just used whatever they had. Probably not. They probably would have had about 10 different photographers positioned all around the ring to get as many pictures as possible.
I was going to say Hulk Hogan sneaking in as well on that one.
Oh yes, yeah. Just sneaks his way into most of the things with the company, doesn't he? Okay, so
pretty much the same as a card 92 from the black one.
Promo shot of the Boss Man holding the nightstick in the handcuffs. There's not many promo shots in this series, because I think they wanted
action, isn't it?
Yeah, they wanted to show off the event, what it achieved, which is a great idea. When you think now, WWE have got Clash in the Castle coming up. Everything about SummerSlam 92, they promoted it well. Couldn't really get enough of it because it's on absolutely every TV show, kids TV. They're advertising during football matches. We had our own wrestling cards, and why haven't they done their own wrestling Clash at the Castle for this one? Wrestling cards. But that would have got me involved, and good idea.
Kids especially.
I did see. I found a clip the other day. It was actually shared by BBC, which is the British Broadcaster Corporation over here in the UK. They shared it to their Facebook page, and it was an interview that Macho Man did, I think, on Live and Kicking, which is a Saturday morning TV show here in the UK. And it's horrifically cringeworthy. Just to give you the idea, it's on YouTube. You can find it. It's quite readily available. But I think because it was in the UK, it hasn't really probably been seen by a lot of the American fans. But it's Macho Man being interviewed by Gordon the Gopher, which didn't talk.
Gordon the Gopher was like a little puppet.
A little hand puppet that they used for kids to like have a bit of fun with the presenters. And the puppet doesn't do anything, just squeaks. And the presenter doesn't really know how to interview a wrestler. So you've got this really cringeworthy interview with Randy trying his hardest to kind of like promote and stay in character. It's a car crash interview, it really is. But it's funny in the sense that they really gave it a good go. I don't know whether or not that was. I assume it was probably around this time, but it's just something I saw.
We'll have to share it on the socials. Get it out there.
I'll dig it out again and share it onto the page.
We'll let them witness the pain.
A curious one here, Razer Ramone.
Obviously not his rookie card, but nice to see Razer entering into the fold, and what an absolute talent, man. I love picking up Razer Ramone stuff still to this day. When he come in with that toothpick and chucking out the camera, And so nice to see that he's getting in, Yeah,
absolutely. And there was quite a few dark matches that happened at SummerSlam 92, which they're going to be showing and going through in detail when they do their sort of the re-airing, shall we say, of the SummerSlam event. So you're going to see quite a few of the dark matches. Now, I obviously I've never seen them.
No,
I know you can go and find them. They are on some of the DVDs. So I don't know if any of the cards represent any of the dark matches. I don't think they do. I'm not entirely sure.
No. Anything from this lot?
No.
I like the nail, the look on Nails' face. Like, don't mess with me. I'm a criminal. That's quite a good one.
I am a criminal. I do bad things. I'm
a naughty person. Yeah.
This is a bit of a dead page on this one. So we've got sort of a promo picture of Kamala, the Beverly brothers, Biddly Bodley Beverleys, the good old Larry Poffo, the genius there, El Matador, Mountie, Sergeant Slaughter, Crush.
I found the worst card, and it is Crush. What is that?
Yes,
in
it's terrible card.
Wrestling attire.
Yeah. So
really,
to describe the card to you here, what they've done
awful.
is they've said to Crush, "We are going to take you to a scrapyard. You are going to be in full getup. You're going to stand next to a demolished car, and we're going to take a photo."
Yeah,
and he's probably gone, "Yeah, all right." And it's a dreadful photo. It looks like, when you see like really old family photos and there's the kid they've taken on holiday that's bored and they've been forced to smile in the family. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, brutal. I imagine it'd have been cold, freezing, Crush being absolutely pissed off. I'm fucking doing this again. Come on, let's hurry up.
Oh, God. Take me to all these places. Buy me lunch.
I need a fag.
Yeah. So next page, talk us through some of the images here, because there's some great images here, but there's also some just pretty poor ones. So talk us through the good ones.
Hacksaw with a gun. I like the hacksaw Jim Duggan pointing his gun. Trademark of his. Mm-hmm. Bobby Heenan, I don't know what he's doing for all them golf clubs, but it's okay. I'm not a fan of the Tatanka hip tossing. I think it's Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah.
Nice clean shot of Rowdy Piper. Obviously. I'm annoyed that Hulk Hogan's in with this. Like, I know that he's going to sell cards and tickets and figures and everything else, but come on.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cop out again to sort of put one of Hulk in there. There's a Berserker one here. Doesn't really do anything. Skinner again, not really interested. Another one of Virgil. Another one of Sherry as well. My favorite on here is the Bobby Heenan one. Just a great clumsy photo standing in full golf gear, dropping loads of golf clubs on the golf course. I mean, a completely random photo, but it's
what he would do.
It's just a funny picture, really. So that's probably on that one my favorite one. So we move on to the next one. Now, again, there's a couple of talking points here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just talk through the bad ones, get them out of the way, and then I will leave the good ones for you to describe to the people. So there's a British Bulldog doing a headlock on, doesn't look like Bret. I'm trying to figure out.
Probably $1 million man, Teddy DiBiase. I'm not sure.
It probably is. There's a Macho Man promo shot of him just, in his Series 4 Hasbro kind of gear. There's one of Ultimate Warrior stood at turnbuckles. There's a couple of natural disaster ones, and there's a weird Virgil one of him sort of.
Is that him meeting the fans at SummerSlam?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's taken in America.
Or does he have fans, and is that his family, or just
relatives?
Well,
yeah, it's kind of like Virgil meeting some fans on the street, some kids on the street.
Yeah.
So I've gone through a couple of them, but what I've done is I've purposefully left here. There's a Taker, a Shango, and a Bulldog card, and I'm going to let Kev describe them to you. So Kev, take it away.
Papa Shango, bottom right, it's just got that voodoo spells about it. That you step near me, and I'll put a curse on you. Cool card. To the left is the Undertaker, just finished off his opponent with a choke slam. That grisly look to the face. Don't mess with me, I'm the Undertaker. To me, one of his all-time underrated cards. I mean, people going out his rookie card, these signed cards and all that, but that for me is like boom.
Yeah,
I don't think you can get any better. And a little bit up here, we've got Is that a British Bulldog on a typewriter or something? Or reading a book, is that? Or bizarre.
Right. So I'm gonna. I wanted you to describe this card to people to see how you would describe it. So
Badly. That's how I describe
right.
it.
So they've taken a photo. Can I rotate this? Oh, I
I
can.
hope not.
Right.
Oh,
There we
can.
go. Right. I'm going to zoom right in a bit now. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to laugh, but I'll describe this photo. So British Bulldog has been put in a two-piece tracksuit, which looks disgusting anyway. It's some black and white weird tracksuit. So
with
he's not
Reebok
in his
pump.
So he's not in his ring gear. They've told him to go and sit on a pub bench, right? So he's now sitting on a park bench in some city, I couldn't tell you where. And they've said to him, just take a magazine, put it on the bench, start reading it, but look at the camera and smile as if you're enjoying, just reading the magazine, right? That is a card in a wrestling card set. A man sat on a bench reading a magazine, enjoying himself. Right?
Brutal.
When you boil it down,
all he needs is a pint of Guinness and cigars.
It's possibly one of the most obscure cards I think ever to make it. So it's not meant to be a funny picture. It's not meant to be comical. It's not meant to be entertaining in that sense. But what an obscure photo.
Awful.
And then to put it in a card set as well, very, very obscure, very strange.
Yeah. And if you just go back, you could see Earthquake with half a nappy on, slamming someone to the left, which the good, the bad, and the ugly, I think, sometimes, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Right. So we've got some real big hitters on this next page.
Beautiful.
So you go through
What's your favourites?
Okay.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you the bad and I'll leave you with the good. The bad, obviously, is Kamala. There's nothing much to it.
Nope.
Nasty Boys are not too bad. See, I've picked a good one here, so I'm all right. I'm happy. But we've seen the Nasty Boys before, the good cards, but not really going to do anything other than that, is it?
No.
IRS pointing his finger at you, pay up your little buggers and all that. And $1 Million Man isn't a bad shot. Again, obviously seen better ones, so I'll leave you to the next four. You could talk about them, Jack.
Yep.
So they are the four for me.
Yeah, these are some of the real big ones of the whole set. So we've got a Bret Hart, a Shawn Michaels, a Ric Flair, and a Razer Ramone. The Flair is he's wearing like a pink feathered gown. It's a promo shot. It's a good promo shot, and it's a picture that I don't think is used in much of Ric Flair's other sort of promotional bits. So it's not a very well used photo, which again makes me like it even more. Moving on to Razer Ramone. So he's in the gold and yellow, the gold and red trunk and vests. Yeah. Great photo. Really, really good. He's pointing at the camera. It's a great promo shot. It's brilliant. Shawn Michaels without Sherry this time. So it's Shawn Michaels on his own. Again, just displaying that character, that kind of the attire. Again, you couldn't really describe the attire. Kind of like a
white motorbikers. Yeah,
flamboyant motorcyclist, you could say. I don't really know how else to describe it, but
Power Ranger.
Power Ranger. but he wore it well, and it's a great photo. Now, a little bit on the Bret one. So this photo of Bret, very, very well-known pose with his hands out open, almost kind of shrugging his shoulders in a way. It was a very popular pose that Bret did. This photo was also used for the visitor's pass that was given to SummerSlam attendees. There was this and a Tatanka one, and I believe an Undertaker one. And I recently picked up the Bret one for about £11 or £12, which is probably about $15. But it's the same photo that they used for the event. So not only was that photo given out to the people that went to the event, it was the same photo that was then used in this card set. So you can imagine the people have come away from the event. They've got this laminated pass, and they've gone, oh, it's part of the card set as well. And they've gone and got the card. So a great little link between the card set and the event as well there.
Brilliant. That Shawn Michaels one does it for me.
Yes, I think for me, it's the Razer and the Bret are the two of my favorites on that one. Okay, bit of a null page again. On the next page,
I was going to say the Owen Hart one gets a lot of interest. People class it as his rookie card, which I don't really think it is. I'd say that there is a Blue Blazer one from 1989-90 that time. It isn't a clear shot because he's wrestling Mr. Perfect, but that is a great card of Owen Hart wrestling, showing off his muscles, and you don't realize how big he is.
Yeah, and remember, this is really, really early on in Owen's WWF career. The locker room, we've spoke about this a few times, where sort of Bret and Shawn were pushing that sort of medium build kind of wrestler being popular. So a lot of them thought they had to be big and bulky. Remember when Bret came on the scene originally in WWF, he was a much bigger build than what he was when he was world champion with the WF. So yeah, being a lot bigger, I think a lot of them were still settling into that idea of, you can be a medium build kind of guy. You don't have to be all muscles and, Ultimate Warrior-esque to be champion.
More action shots in this one than promo shots as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you got Repo Man, Martel, Matador, again, Virgil. Not really much going on, to be honest.
Nothing for me. Doesn't really do it for me.
No. I think we'll move
next
on to the
page
next
as
one.
well.
Yeah, we're coming to the sort of bottom of the barrel bits at the moment now. So this is coming towards the end of the series. Slaughter, Mountie, Berserker, Nails, Hacksaw, Crush. Yeah.
Really dragging it out here. Wouldn't it have been good if they had included some legends in this set? Could you imagine an Andre the Giant?
They could have gone back to sort of previous sort of SummerSlam or pay-per-views and said, put a few of those pictures in. But no, again, another Hogan one snuck in again. Nothing really to sort of shout home about.
For me, it's the good cards are absolutely incredible. The bad cards, they stand out a little bit as well, don't they? Fortunately.
I think as a ratio of really good cards to medium cards to bad cards, the good cards here, because they're so good, they're few and far in between the good cards, but they're so good. I think it makes the set desirable.
Exactly.
But there's an awful lot of filler. I mean, wow. I mean, how many Berserker through this and the Black Series? I think there's like 4 or 5 Berserker cards. Who in their collecting career and hobby and lifetime has said, I need more Berserker cards?
Not me.
Nobody.
The Hacksaw one's a good card.
The Hacksaw one is a good card. Yeah, again, it's a great shot, holding up the 2x4, hand on the hip. Great picture. Great picture.
Yeah.
So we come into the very last 6 of the set, and there's a few things that I'll talk about here, but just to get the bad ones out of the way, Paul Bearer stood at the ringside again, holding the urn, and the Macho Man in ring shot. Okay-ish cards. Pick one of the remaining 2 to talk about, Kev. So we've got the Undertaker or Ultimate Warrior. You pick one, and I'll take the other.
Ultimate Warrior. Look at it. When he come back at WrestleMania 8, I was like, whoa, he's coming back. I thought he died, and there's all sorts of rumors floating about that he had. So, all right, he wasn't as big physically and with his physique, but it's Ultimate Warrior. We were made up to have him back in 92. Filled that void of Hogan not being there. Really sadly missed.
Yeah. So the other remaining card there is the Undertaker. Again, a really good display of the character.
Yeah.
So this time he's in his ring attire, so he's not got the big overcoat on. He's not wearing the hat. Just a great display of the character. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because if you was to show a non-wrestling fan this card of the Undertaker and say, you could probably pick 5 questions and say, are they a good character or a bad character? What do you think their gimmick is? Yada yada yada. They're going to be able to explain it, and they've probably never watched a day of wrestling in their life.
Yeah, so zombie-like.
Yeah, a great display of the character, and again, great card. And I actually think, again, along the lines of what you were saying about having them displayed, you could take, all of the Taker cards from this series, and you could have them in a frame, and they would look amazing. And you could do the same with the Warrior.
Yeah, the Warrior. I'm looking there. It reminds me of Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno, with the muscles ready to turn green.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, one thing I was just going to mention is the checklist part 1, checklist part 2. That tells you that they were just adding to the numbers because they couldn't probably find another 2 cards.
Yeah, I checklists. I will hold my hands up, and I will say the only thing I've ever used a checklist for is to know how many cards are in the set, and then I just figure it out from there.
Yeah. Doesn't mean anything really, does it?
Yeah. I know people would physically use them as like a tick box affair to tick off the ones they've got. How boring is that? Whoever in the playground, right? Think of this, right? So I grew up in it wasn't particularly well off area. Nobody in the playground walked up to the huddle of kids with a checklist and gone, has anyone got number 12? You sat there and you watched as someone went, got, need, right, got. That was the joy, right? You didn't just sit there with a checklist. No one was that organized. It didn't work, didn't happen. So for me, checklist, pointless. Unfortunately, they oddly, just looking at the list there, they don't count the checklist as a card in the set.
Wow.
So are they officially a part of the set?
I'd have to have them. Yeah, if I want the set, I've got to have the checklist. In fact, I'm sending them off to PSA.
Imagine that. Oh, come on. That's great.
Yes.
For pure novelty value, I would love to see somebody get the checklists graded. That would be amazing. That's so funny. Just having a graded PSA 10 checklist part 1.
Part 1.
Great.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well done.
I was going to finish on saying there's no Legion of Doom, bizarrely. Why is that? They were gone, weren't they, from straight after the event?
Yeah, terrible shame that it ended the way it did for them from that event, but deleted at that stage from cancelled, shall we say, as modern terminology from WWF by the time this set came out, which is a shame.
Another thing, no Vince McMahon. Hid behind the camera, everything else. Nah, I don't want me photo taken. See you later, lads.
Well, I mean, he had a few cards and stickers sort of early late 80s, didn't he? And then he wasn't in the 90. Oh no, he was in the 90 classic. He had a card there
with Rowdy Piper.
Yeah,
the blue one. Yeah, and there is a few 85 of Hogan, and people go mad for that one, don't they? Then late 90s.
There wasn't a 91. There was nothing in 91. No. There's nothing here in 92. I mean, he wasn't in the sticker set either.
No,
I don't think he's in 93, and I don't think he's in 94.
There might be a 94 at the beginning with a sticker where it's got Lord Alfred Hayes and a few others, but maybe that's just on the actual page. But because back then Vince McMahon didn't own WWF, Jack Tunney did.
Yeah, good point. I suppose at that point he was just a sort of an announcer come, family heir to I suppose to that degree. But no, great set. I'm not going to ask you to pick your favorite, so we already have in regards to the Gold Series versus Black. I would agree. The Black Series, to me, the edges really irritate me, but the Gold Series doesn't really suffer with that. And I think the Gold Series looks better, brighter, cleaner.
There's more to it, isn't there? There's more in-ring shots.
Yeah.
I think that this one sad thing is, as I've mentioned, there's no Legion of Doom, but we could live without that, I think, can't we?
Yeah, and there were some great cards they had in the Black Series. But again, the ratio of good cards in the Gold Series, I'd probably struggle to pick a top 10 of amazing cards, but within that top 10, however many I was able to pick, they are possibly the in my top 30 all-time cards.
Wow.
So, yeah, a really strong set. And again, we've said this a few times. You don't need to be a completionist for the hobby. You don't need to get all of these cards. If someone was going to say to me, I really don't want to have to go through the hassle of buying all of the cards, don't bother. No one's going to be upset because you haven't got a Berserker card, right? I know I keep ragging about Berserker, but it's no one's going to be annoyed that you haven't got that Virgil card. Okay, people are going to be annoyed that you haven't, picked up that Bret or that Ultimate Warrior card because they're amazing. And if you don't get
the
them,
ones you like, isn't it? That's what collecting is. Picking out the favorites for me. Yeah. And it was nice looking back that we got them cards for that event. And 30 years on, would you believe that, Jack? Can you actually remember the event or
no?
Before your time.
Again, I didn't have access to any of those kind of pay-per-views or channels at that stage. So. Yeah. No, nothing for me.
I remember picking up the cards from a local newsagent's 30p a pack, and it was like, wow. It was my first real lot of cards I was buying because I was buying football, soccer cards the year before. I was just looking out for certain footballers, but you buy them and you toss them to one side. But the 91 blue, I was picking them up. The white Merlin ones, picking them up. But the black and the yellow, I managed to complete them, which was quite special back then.
Yeah,
I doing all the trades for it on the playgrounds, and good fun.
My first one was football was Premier League '94. That was the first sort of stickers and things that I really bought. And I bought them when they were released, and then after that I kind of started doing everything else. But no, that I didn't pick these up. Actually, I came quite late to these, to be honest. I didn't pick these up until probably about 5 or 6 years ago.
Really?
And I just bought the whole set in one go. I didn't run around trying to find them. I just went and bought the whole thing. Same with the Black Series. Just bought it outright.
Yeah, I had them in my little toy drawer or something from years back, and I dug them out about 5-6 years back. And when you look at the cards and they're bruised and battered and no monetary value to them, or like especially the blackboard, there's all the edges had curved, and I was like, right, I need to get some more. So I have picked up a few since.
Yeah, I tend to find the quality of the Gold Series, I think, is much better. The corners are a lot sharper. The edges are a lot tighter. The quality, I think, of the Yellow Series, the Gold Series, is way better than the Black Series. I always think, and again, is that just the bias that I have because the Black Series always has frayed edges, always looks horrible. I wonder if that's the bias that I have on that. But either way, great series for both of them.
Yeah,
great series. And I think if anyone wanted to get into collecting some of the vintage stuff, these are a great place to start because they're quite abundant. They are fairly cheap. Some of the big hitters will probably set you back maybe, between sort of $5 to $10 each. I wouldn't be paying more than about maybe $20 per card for some of the real big ones. I wouldn't think going over that would be worth it. Considering you could probably buy a whole set for what, $80, $90. So yeah, I wouldn't go over maybe $20 a card for either of the Gold or the Black Series.
It's hopefully it's the set that's just going to generate interest. Now SummerSlam, well, it's 30th anniversary, isn't it? So maybe there's fans our age out there thinking, God, I remember them. I need a set of these cards. So that's what it's about, isn't it? Spreading the love.
Absolutely. So there we are. SummerSlam Series 1, Black Series, and Series 2 Gold Series covered, reviewed. I liked it. I think we'll do more set reviews. I think we always knew we were going to be doing set reviews. Yeah, tell us your favorite cards. Tell us your worst cards, because to be honest, we've all got our worst cards through sets. And I always love hearing people moan about the worst cards because it makes me laugh. But yeah, leave a comment. Let us know. And if there's a set you want us to review, we want to review every set. So to be honest, tell us your favorite ones, but we'll review pretty much all of them up and coming anyway.
Except for the All Stars 82.
Yeah, we're not. I think out of principle, like I mean, we're never going to even own one. So yeah, it's just no point.
Too good. Such a good set, isn't it? But
yeah,
and madly, it's only 10 years apart, 82 to 92. You know.
And look at look at the sort of the Davey Boy Smith, the Bulldog one from 82. No, I'm thinking 85. I'm getting confused.
Yeah, 85. Yeah. It's, but it seems like a lifetime ago, some of it, doesn't it? But it's slowly creeping up. The interest is getting there.
Absolutely.
So it's about sharing the love for the cards. Yeah.
So there we are. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed what we did. And if there's, as I say, let us know what your favorites are. We've enjoyed it. We'll do more of these in the future. But until next time, like, share, subscribe, do what you need to do. It's goodbye from myself, Kev.
Goodbye from me too. Thank you, Jack. Good episode. Hope you liked it, wrestling fans. We're on Twitter, Facebook. Submit wrestling cards. Goodbye for now.
Bye. And that about wraps it up for another edition of the Submit Wrestling Cards podcast with myself, Jack, and my good friend, Kev. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube, and keep an eye out for the next upcoming episodes. And now a quick word from our sponsor, Wrestling Cards Worldwide.
Hi, I'm Michael, and I run Wrestling Cards Worldwide, and I'm proud to be associated with the Submit Wrestling Cards podcast. We've got thousands of cards and stickers from all different eras on the website, and if you check out the link on the podcast, they'll give you an exclusive discount code for the website.
Thank you very much, and until next time, bye.